Hello there and welcome back to Forza Horizon 5, the Modern Horizons series, Season 3, dry season now. And jumping right into it, for the weekly challenge we need the 2018 Saleen S1, 1 in 1500, I'm guessing that's all that were made. Now, how does it expect me to own that? Because that wasn't the reward from anything last week. It's not the reward that I can see from anything this week. That's a McLaren. So let's go check out the car collection. Wheel spin and auto show. $200,000 car. Okay, that's not so bad then. I'm never too keen on the ones where you have to buy the car instead of being able to win it from something, but at least it's relatively cheap, I guess. As realistically, even when you're first starting the game, it doesn't take you many wheel spins or race wins to earn $250,000. So let's see what they want us to do with it next. So our mission is to win 2 road races. Unfortunately, there do not appear to be any qualifying road races in the season challenges, or championships. So we're just going to have to do an ad hoc one. Lookout Circuit is a fairly short race. I haven't tuned it or anything, but I shouldn't have to, because I should be against similarly tuned cars of the same class. So we've got BMW i8 or something, probably some Lamborghinis, some Porsches. A little bit of tuning probably would have gone a long way, but until you start throwing money at the car, especially at like sort of gearbox and stuff, then you can't really tune a hell of a lot that's useful. Change the tyres, I guess, but I've got 3 laps to just work my way through the field. Just slowly, hopefully gain on some of these guys. Rear-wheel drive car, need to remember about that. That is relevant when coming to do the corners. Try and keep some power on. Hopefully don't get shunted off the track, because that's just rather rude. See if we can corner well. Don't seem to be gaining on these guys very well though, which is a worry. So try and get some good cornering through here. We were way too tight last time. There we go. That overtook a bunch. Oh, that was terrible though. Oh dear. Try and hunt these guys down. Got a GTR, looks like, ahead of me. Audi R8, I think. I can't tell what the one in front is. But we need to be able to pick up the pace and beat them this lap. So, pressure's on. Let's try and take good lines through these corners here. Screwed that one up. Can we do a similar sort of overtake run here? Because last time we caught up really well through this corner section, because they seemed to brake too much. But then we didn't brake very well for this corner, and that's where it all falls apart. And now we just get pushed into the wall. Okay. Let's see if we can do that and not get pushed into the wall. That was very rude. So it's this corner that we need to figure out what we're doing. Now that's probably why they are losing speed earlier, in order to go through this corner better. But we managed to do that a lot better this time, without resorting to the same thing. It's a Lamborghini in front. We need to just cut in front of that guy. We do run wide, but that should, hopefully, be enough to just get across the line. Just. One more win needed. It's interesting really, because sometimes the weekly challenges really don't need you to do much. Certainly not in terms of racing. There's been ones where it's just been like, paint the car and now drive it. This one we need to win not 1 but 2 races. There's a little bit of inconsistency going on. There's also a lot of inconsistency in the starting grid. because I took a peek at who my opponents were, and there's some that are in the mid to late 800s, and I'm in the early 800s in terms of rating. So that's a little bit rude, but it seems that it doesn't matter too much. We're catching up well. We're working our way through the field. 3 more to overtake. 2 laps to go. Now, there's a couple of these corners are my Achilles heel. And then there's some that they seem to brake way too much for. So long as we keep it relatively clean, then we seem to be doing the business well enough to keep up. This car, I think, isn't so much about top speed as it is about cornering. Even, like, not great acceleration-wise per se, but they're definitely good at the cornering. And thankfully, I've chosen tracks where that's what matters. Shunt. Because my house is up on this hill, the, whatever it's called, castle, basically, that you have in the game is up on top of the hill, and so I just chose the circuits that were closest by. And they seem to be the ones that are working to our strengths. If only I could actually harness the car's strengths well enough without sliding into walls every now and then. That's a me problem. Car is good. Driver is not. To be fair, this is only my second time driving this car, so... But you can usually get a pretty good feel for them early on. Of course, it's also very different when you're chasing cars. You can see like where they are braking for corners and stuff, and then you've got to be a really quick study to pay attention to what they're doing and go, okay, so now I need to do that next lap when I'm ahead. And that's easier said than done. There's a lot of corners to remember, and a lot of it then just comes down to having a general feel for how the car responds, where you can accelerate, where you have to put a little bit of power on, and how much you can cut the corners by. All in all, job well done, I think. So now that we've gotten used to the car a little bit, next challenge is to get 6 stars through speed zones. So minimum, got to run through one twice. I honestly don't expect to be able to get 3 stars anyway through pretty much any of the speed zones, not without tuning the car pretty heavily in order to upgrade it. But we'll give it a go, and if we can get 2 stars 3 times, then that's also good enough too. Well, that's ironic. Track's second time around comes on as I'm going for the second time through the same speed zone. I did say earlier that I feel that this car is put together more for cornering than outright top speed, and that's certainly helping through here. The uphill especially, I'm feeling really stable through there. So 205, I can't remember what that is, but I'm guessing it's not 3 stars? No, there we go. Didn't pop, so we've got to go through one more time, and hopefully we were getting 2 stars at least. So this should be the 3rd and final time we have to go through this. So long as we can hold it together. It's always a little bit more difficult on the downhill because the car wants to kind of leave the road a little bit. You can also see more of the road that's coming up ahead when you're going uphill, funnily enough. Now, hopefully, it's the best one yet. Hopefully that's 3 stars, or 2 stars, and that gets us our 6. There we go, rising to the top, complete. So, what's weird now is the next one is apparently earning 10 wreckage skills in 1 minute. Now, the problem with wreckage skills is they're not hugely reliable. It's not every single thing that you hit. You often have to work in a different skill in between times. But being a rear-wheel drive, it does mean that we can get some good drifts in between times. So we seem to be doing well enough. Now, can we get 10 within a minute? I'm hoping that great and awesome and ultimate and stuff, they'll count as wreckage skills, right? Surely. Oh, well, we lost our combo and our momentum, unfortunately. And I have no idea. Oh, okay, there we go. One last sign. Driver's car complete. There we go. One last sign was all we need. It's a shame we lost the combo. Would have been nice to earn a few more points. But never mind. It would be nice if you could track them and it came up with a little counter as you went. Unfortunately, unless it's an accolade, you don't generally get to do that. But never mind. And with that, the weekly challenge is complete. Now to start working on some of the others, maybe we take a look at the daily challenges, earn 6 stars at danger signs in the Warthog. I do believe I own that. Bank a total of 100,000 skill score in Guanajuato. Alright, that could be interesting. And then 137 Ks now for 2 minutes. 2 minutes, okay, so go on the motorway in other words. What do we got to buy in here anyway? Oh, this is where you can get the Warthog. If you don't already have it, you can, if you didn't get lucky on wheel spins, you can just straight up buy it in the shop this week. So I would recommend, because that is used every now and then. And the Speedtail McLaren is up for sale. I have just enough points to buy that, so I'm actually going to. And we may as well just take it for a spin. The Speedtail is a very interesting looking vehicle. Very futuristic. It's sleek lines. Looks almost like a solar powered car. You expect it to have a big solar panel tail on the back. Now I believe this is an S2 car, and we have some PR challenges to do that are S2 anything goes. So let's see if this thing is good enough. First up is a speed trap with a very unlikely goal. We need to get way over 200 or so Ks an hour through this speed trap on the bridge. Okay, I'm going to terminate this attempt. How are we supposed to be doing 200 and I think it was 60 or something Ks an hour? It's way beyond what my PB is. I guess we can come racing down the hill or racing around the corner. We'll try doing it properly around the corner. Which I don't expect to work, so we're probably going to have to go from the top of the hill and then come around. How much can we accelerate at this point here? Ooh, not quite enough, I don't think. 267. 17 Ks an hour more. Now, if we were in a more powerful car, that would help. This is, despite being an S2 McLaren, it's only in, I think, 910 or 20, which is not enough, really. We would be pushing for the 998 level. So, yeah, 212 just doing that. We were doing a pretty fair clip coming out of this corner, and we probably could, in fact, have gone faster. Skill song, now that's interesting. That would be quite good for the doing skill score in Guanajuato, but that can wait. I'm sure there'll be another one. No, I don't think this is even as good as last time, is it? No. No, about the same. I think we're just going to have to go up the hill. I'm not desperately optimistic that this is going to work either, quite frankly, because we lose a lot of traction coming down here. And honestly, it might just be a case of we have to relinquish the idea of doing it in this car purely for the sake of it, and we have to break out the big guns. That wasn't actually too bad. 270, that's a new PB, and we still need, how many more? 15 Ks an hour more. Way over my PB, and well over the 3-star mark, I might add. Alright, well, if we can't make the PR challenges, at the very least we could try and get a little bit of something out of this car and work on the skill points daily challenge of getting 100,000 points in Guanajuato. Now, that's going to be a bit tricky. We've got to make the most of the skill song, for one. That's why I came here right now, before I try and do anything else. Because that doubles our multiplier increases, which is nice. So we can just smash a few phone boxes, do a few drifts here and there, hope that we don't hit the walls too much. And so the magic number is 100,000. To get 100,000, we're going to need 20,000 times 5 or other such multipliers beyond that. And we're just trying to get drifts here and there whenever we're losing any other possibilities of combo. We lost. Oh, okay, never mind. Lost our combo, but just over the 100,000 mark. Planned? Calculated? No, just dumb luck. Now, if we're going to ditch the pretense of using the McLaren for these things, oh, that's a really badly placed support strut inside the car. We're just going to have to do bonnet mode on this. So this is a Rimac. It's an electric car, and it's a blisteringly fast one. And it's all-wheel drive. So will this get us to the required speed in time? Yeah, okay, now you're just showing off. 300 k's an hour, blasting through our PB and the objective, alright. Yeah, that's what happens when you get the right car for the job. Now, the next PR challenge is not the one that I would normally choose an S2 hypercar for. It is a Trailblazer, and okay, that has immediately demonstrated why this is probably not the right car for the job. But I always like to at least give things a bit of a chance. Even if it's just to see how badly they go. Now, I think I needed to have like 35 seconds left at the end, which means this is not going to work. But we can at least remind ourselves of what the course of this one is. Okay, that's a tree. So I think we have to then go down there, keep going straight for longer, and then turn before going through here. Alright. Well, that's our practice run. I'm amazed we got there with still like 20 seconds to go. That's quite impressive. 15 seconds faster, yeah. Alright. I think we need something a little bit more adept at off-road. This is all-wheel drive, admittedly, so I did have some hopes, but I think we need something heavier so it doesn't just launch and flip so much from the top. And, well, we did do this cross-country track last week, I believe, with this particular Pokemon Hoonigan car. So we know that we can get down the slope well enough with it. Let's go to the wider angle. Oops, someone else is doing the same thing that I just did. They gave up, though. What a quitter. Let's see if we can get through here. And the hard part is the turn at the bottom and where you should begin the turn so that you don't hit the trees. But they do have a little bit of a course carved out for you. No, okay. Can we rewind and still have the time count? Rather than going all the way to the top of the hill again. We just need to miss that one tree. Okay, let's go from here. And can we miss that tree this time? Yes, we can. There we go. And the timer does indeed wind back for you. Good to know. Good to know. Alright, and now on to the California Hills Raceway, apparently, according to the Event Lab creator. And it recommended a B class. And I have this Mini. What are all... Oh, it's snowmen in the crowd. Okay. What the hell is that in the stands? They've been creative. They've placed empty grandstands. So I have bemoaned sometimes how track creators will have the grandstands there, but it seems there isn't an option for those that actually have crowd members inside. So he's stacked them with snowmen instead. That's inventive. I appreciate that. This is sliding all over the place. I'm getting a bit too distracted by the spectators. It's also a bit much in terms of the double layered trees around the top. Like, is that really necessary? I don't know. Also, what's up with the cornering of this car? I thought it was going to be much better than this. I thought, you know, sometimes with these Event Lab tracks, the bends are usually pretty tough on them. So this Mini that has all-wheel drive and is, I thought, tuned for cornering and acceleration. That said, it might have also been tuned for racing off-road. That might be the problem. That would explain why it's slipping around a little bit on the corners. I think maybe this has off-road tyres fitted. We only had one dude in front of us, who also probably has off-road tyres fitted, judging by the looks of him. But he's a little bit more stable on them than I am, I suspect. The big wing on the back probably helps too. Yes, interesting track. I think definitely, I feel like it's stuttering a little bit. There's a lot for it to have to render with all of the trees going on. And it just feels a little bit unnecessary. Half the height, because they've got the big hills like protruding up as well. I guess they just wanted to really make sure that people couldn't see outside the track. I'm not quite sure why they felt that was necessary. I'm also not quite sure why this guy is resolutely staying ahead of me. That won't do. We've got one more lap to actually do some good cornering and catch up. Time to not get so distracted by the scenery and start racing properly. There you go. Goodbye. I would feel bad, but they do that to me all the time. I was expecting him to T-bone me there on that corner. He is looming in my mirror. One more lap to go. This time I am in the lead. We need to hold that lead. Seems to be really hard to get a good line through that first bend because of the nature of the hill to start with. This one here, we pretty much just accept that we're running wide on. The cambering on the corners is also really weird, which doesn't help. But decent runoff on that one, and then we can skip through here. It makes us jump a little bit before going into that corner. That's alright. Getting through. And now we're pulling out a little bit more of a lead to the dude who was previously in front. I think that probably shows that paying attention to what we're doing and racing properly is probably the key to success, even though it's not quite as interesting. Round we come. Final chicane section, onto the final bend, brake hard, turn through the corner, accelerate throughout, say hi to the T-Rex hiding in the trees there, don't think I didn't notice you. And that wasn't the final bend because I misread the track, or rather the GPS is placed weirdly. But now we're across the line. And our reward is the Retrowave outfit. And that is convenient because there is a daily challenge for taking a picture of our character while wearing the Retrowave outfit. We have our usual drip that I've kind of curated relatively well. Though some of these other t-shirts are quite nice. You know what, we can look at that some other time. The useful thing is that once you've got your outfit sorted, when you get the costumes that unlock, outfits, here we go, these just are like a full replacement that just go over the top. You don't need to worry about losing what you've previously put. You know, take the outfit off, it's all back again, which is nice. I do appreciate that, so you don't have to just keep putting things off and on again. So you can wear a suit, or a chicken suit, and then go back to what you actually enjoy. Where's our Retrowave outfit? Here we go. Which isn't a bad look, to be honest. And now we just need to take a picture. It probably counts even with us inside the vehicle, to be honest. I'm curious. Oh, we need a Korean car in Dunas Blancas too. Interesting. Okay, well that didn't work, funnily enough, us actually sitting inside the car, even though we are wearing the outfit. But in the options you just need to say character, there we go, center front, or wherever you prefer. Just got to cycle around. There we go, that makes sense. And there we go, another 20 Forza points in the bag. And then while we're at it, I think it's time to pull out the Warthog and go jumping. And from our castle, we can just hit the hill roads, come around here. This thing doesn't go very fast, unfortunately, and I don't think I've tuned it at all either. The handling, at least in the game, is better than the original Halo, which isn't difficult. But can we survive bouncing down this road to get to the danger sign? Then we just need 2 3 stars. We're probably not going to get that. No, that's not nearly far enough, but that should be 2 stars at least. And we could go back up and try again, or we could have a little bit of variety. And let's go and find a different one, shall we? And all we have to do is go the other direction from the road we were just on. and find a different hill to launch ourselves off, this time aiming towards the city. And from there we could probably just go south and jump towards the stadium too. I would rate the ability of this to at least get 2 stars on each of these. At the very least I hope that I'm getting 1 star from each of these. If we have to do 6 danger signs, getting 1 star at each one of them, that's going to be miserable, but I mean, whatever. The problem is that this is just such a very heavy car. We're going pretty fast, but it just flops off these things. It does not fly very well, funnily enough. Oh, it counted just before we started to tip. Oh, there we go. Ah, and we didn't get it. That means that for one of those previous ones, we only got 1 star, if any. So, I guess, since we're close enough to this one, and this one seems like the easiest to do, I think we'll just run back up the hill, turn around, and do it again. Hopefully this one we at least got 2 stars on, so even if we got 0 stars on one of the others, but 2 on the other, then this would count. We're hoping we got at least 1 star on each of the others. Moment of truth. There we go, flying cars of the future complete. I see where they're going with that one. Yep. I think if you want a true flying car, you probably want something that is a little bit more aerodynamic and not quite as heavy. But I do love the Warthog. Key point is that with that, we've got another point from the daily challenges. We have 3 more points to get the halfway of the season, and that means the easiest thing to do is the next event lab. Oh dear. So other than the track map looking absolutely horrific, we also have the issue that this is apparently a road race, judging by the blue colouring, but it said that we should have rally monsters, and all of my rally monsters have off-road tyres currently fitted, but this is not off-road. But maybe it's still considered a loose surface? I don't know. At the very least, this track is an absolute mess, and I will be extremely impressed if the AI don't at some point just break. So we'll see how well they've constructed this, I guess. I mean, so far so good. The AI is coping. I am also barely coping. It's odd that it's a circuit and yet it's 1 out of 1 laps. Oh, there's a shortcut there. Interesting. Okay, it's far too dark for me to be inside the cockpit. Time to hop out to bonnet view. Okay, I was tempted to take that Exocet buggy out, because I have one of those too. Maybe that would have worked quite well. Not sure. We've got a big long straight here, where we do have the edge in terms of speed, and now a corner where we don't have the edge in cornering. This is such a bizarre track, and I have no idea where the next checkpoint is or what to expect from it. What? Okay, what? The checkpoint's over there. What does the map say? What does the map say? Okay, we're meant to go this way. This is like a pod racing level. This actually does remind me a lot of a level from episode 1 Pod Racer. Now, if that's the vibe that they were going for, I'm impressed, because that is a hell of a callback. I'm gonna guess that it's completely accidental, because no one as old as me is likely actually designing tracks in this game. But it's a nice thought. Now, where the hell are we going, and where is the finish line? I just can't make sense of the map. It's absurd. I guess that part of that is I do tend to fixate too much on the map to tell me where I'm going, and, well, this is a lesson for me to just pay attention to the track in front of me, I suppose. But boy oh boy, is this one a headache. Are we going left now? Alright, because it looks like on the track map that we're going right, but that was a bit that we were overlapping. Alright. I do really hate tracks that just go over themselves. I think we've gone the other way on this surface, haven't we? I don't even know anymore. Oh, and it looks like the finish is to the right, but we actually go to the left for some reason, because we're not finished looping around. I just wish that they'd replaced one of the left-hand / right-hand ends with the opposite and stretched it out into a nice big long sprint race instead of trying to do this convoluted circuit. I don't know. Looks like there was another shortcut back there if we had known about it, we could have used. I think the AI have now gotten a bit confused at various points because I've not been racing particularly well and yet I've somehow still got quite a lead. That's fine, I'll take it. And finally, we're back in reality and we can just be glad that that's over. Most importantly, that gets us to the halfway point of the season and we have our Toyota Yaris. And now with 20 points to go, we will likely just be relying on our seasonal championships. We also have a treasure hunt, which involves painting a Pagani, apparently, and photographing any Korean car at Dunas Blancas. Well, there is indeed a Korean championship that we have to do as well, so that ties in nicely. But that should be all of the points that we require to get all the way to the Mercedes-AMG E63 that I believe we already own, but that's okay. And that'll also get us closer to our ultimate goal for this series of the Racer TS19, which does look very, very nice indeed. All that and more in the next video. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.